Hi guys, John here. This video today is going to be an update video on the reptile room and fish room that I have recently combined into the one. And also it's just a plain update on the dragons and fish and how they're going. Since I haven't showed the dragons in quite a while because of the fish, and I've been doing mostly videos on them, I thought it would be a good change to get back into the groove of making videos on the dragons since I'm John's Dragons. So you can see the aquarium is here. This is in my office room, so my laptop and computer screen's over there, and that's what I'm using, obviously, most of the time. So it would just be fit, so everything was in the one room, and my bearded dragons weren't just stuck in my room without me being there. So like I said, I've got my aquarium, and then I've got all my bearded dragon enclosures with my babies and my adults. For you guys that don't know, I am a bearded dragon breeder. I've been breeding, I haven't really been breeding over amount of years. I've just been breeding. I've had one clutch of eggs, but I'm just been growing out my collection, and hopefully in the next year to 2 years I should be up there with the good breeders in Brisbane, or at least some of the quality breeders in Brisbane, not just some of the people who manage to breed bearded dragons and find a way to incubate them. So my bearded dragons are quality. So I'll just give you an update on the babies and show you the progress on how they've been going. So I have my two girls that I produced, and then I have my two red leatherback boys that I bought from a breeder in Victoria. For you guys that don't know, I am in Brisbane, so they were shipped to me at a very small age. They were around 3 months old when I got them, and I've had them for a while. And this is Nova, my naughty boy. He tries to bite me all the time, but the funny thing is he never will. He'll always try and nip at me. And then this is Casper, the boy. He'll never ever bite me ever. And they are, like I said, leatherbacks, if you can see. Not sure how that's coming across on the camera, but there they are, and they're two males. And a lot of people think this is the time you should be sending them away or separating them, but I've seen no signs of aggression or even any fights that have happened with them, so I'm going to stick with those two together. And then these are my girls that I produced. Before I say, this is Casper and this is Nova. And then I'll get onto my girls. This is Bamba, the top one, and the bottom one is Envy. And they are my two that I produced, if you can have a look at them. The camera looks like it's having a bit of a problem. It's got like that light problem. See if I can focus on them. But those are my girls. And my boys in the rack system. And for you guys that don't know, they're just in a simple rack system with a UVB bulb and then two heat lights. If you can see, have a look at the top, two 40-watt heat globes, floodlights. There you go. And now I'll get on to my female bearded dragon. She's in a 4-foot enclosure, and this is her. Her name is Athena. She's my adult female bearded dragon. She's just come out of brumation a little while back, and she's just putting back on the weight now. So she's a little skinny now, but was a lot better. She didn't lose too much weight. She lost around 20 grams during brumation, but that is usual, especially for first time brumation. When they get a little bit chunkier, I don't think they'll lose as much, but because she kind of went into brumation for the first time, and I wasn't too sure what to do, so I cut down on their feeding a lot while she was going into it. So she lost a little bit of weight, but this is my girl. She's a yellow, if you can see. Absolutely beautiful. Nice big fat chunky girl. Big fat belly. And for you guys that don't know, I put them on sand. I am strongly against using sand for bearded dragons, just due to the fact that it can cause impaction. The reason I chose to use sand is because, one, I don't feed my bearded dragons in the enclosure. The only thing I ever feed them in the enclosure is their vegetables, and as you can see, no sand gets in their vegetables. They pop it out of the sand, but they don't eat those ones because they dry up really quickly on the sand. But they eat the ones on the plates, and also the reason I did that was because the tile I have underneath was very cold during hibernation time or brumation time, and I thought it would be a good idea. So that's my female. Now we'll go to my male. It's my male bearded dragon Poseidon. He's in a 3-foot enclosure. My female is in a 4-foot. And he's my father of the 2 girls I showed you. Take a nice good close look at him, if it focuses. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful eyes. They're really red. Some people may think that like he's burst a blood vessel because they're so red, but he really hasn't. He's just that bright, the eyes, which are really cool. And he also has his vegetables just in his little dish here. So that is really the update on the dragons. I'll be doing a lot more videos. You guys should leave a comment of what you guys want to see next, because I'm struggling a bit coming out with the content. Not struggling as such, but I just want to know what you guys want to see, and not me just posting videos on what I want. So that's all about with the dragons, and now I'll just get on to the aquarium. For you guys that don't know, I have started recently a saltwater aquarium. It has been running for around 2.5 months. And this is it so far. So it's still a fairly new aquarium, and it's just starting to get all of its colours and stuff. So for you guys that want a run through of what corals I have and what fish I have, I'll go through them now. I'll give you a close-up after I explain. So for you guys that want to know what this coral is, it's called an elegance coral or a giardini. These coral are fairly easy to care for. They're one of the more, how would I say, difficult corals, just only due to the fact that it has a stony base. The stony base then requires calcium and carbonate in the water, so that base can grow. Because it's a hard calcium carbonate base that it grows and grows the coral. So if you don't have that, the coral will eventually decline or will just stop growing completely, but I believe it will die. If you guys can see, I have a bubble tip anemone. It's not bubbling up at the moment because I just fed it, so after it eats, it gets all long and yucky. But it's even if it doesn't ever bubble up again, it's still really nice like that, but I know it bubbles up, so I don't need to worry. I've got a cluster of Zoanthids over here. They are a fairly easy to care for coral, as well as the anemone. I'm not sure if you'd really consider that a coral, but it's an anemone, whatever. It's a coral, kinda. So soft corals are the corals you want to go for if you're a new starter, but I'm going to start getting into the hard corals like the Acropora and Montipora and stuff like that. For you guys that know what I'm talking about, they're the corals with that are very tree-like, so it's got lots of branches forming off them and stuff like that. So that's the coral I'm going into next. So I've got a big cluster of Zoanthids over in this corner, and these are very easy to care for. They don't need to be fed at all, but you can feed them. I do feed my coral. I'll see if I can just hold the camera a little better and focus on. I bought this coral food from Reef Secrets Aquarium in a Nerang. They are an independent store. And if you want to just have a read of that, very good. And this stuff is a lot more concentrated than your like reef-roids and stuff like that, because normal reef-roids, I think it's 1/4 of a teaspoon feeds up to 100 liters, and half a teaspoon of this feeds up to 1,000 liters a day, or 1,000 liters. So it's a lot more concentrated than the normal stuff you get, and it's a little bit cheaper as well. But that's only for people in Brisbane, obviously. For you guys that want to know what this coral is, it is a brain coral. It is a or a lobophilia, I believe that's the scientific name. It also has a baby down there, if you can see that. I'll get into close-ups later. I've got a torch coral, a brown torch coral. It's not the most pleasing, pleasing to the eye. It's not the most colourful, but it is very bushy-like, and I like seeing that swaying motion. And it takes up a fair chunk of the tank, which is a bit of a annoyance, but it does look very nice in the tank. For you guys that can see up there, they're green star polyps. They are an extremely awesome coral to care for, and they're easy to keep, but you need to watch them, because they can end up taking over your entire tank. So you have to kind of put them on a small piece of rock and trim them if you don't want, because they can in fact take over the whole tank. If you just left them, it would cover everything in the tank, because they are a plate encrusting coral, and once they get on something, it's extremely hard to get them off. So that's why I've just got them on. If you guys don't know, all of this is like dismantled. I can dismantle it. That's one piece, that's one piece, that's one piece, that's one piece. It comes right around there. That's a piece. That whole section's a piece, and then where that green star polyp is on is one piece, and that is also a piece. I did it in a way it looks like all one piece, or at least the closest I can to making it look like one piece, without it looking too like I've just placed rocks in there. So then I have a green tip torch coral. That's the exact same care as this one. They are also have a stony base, so they need the calcium and carbonate in the water for them to live a happy life. So now I'll get into the fish that I have. I have a Melanaris wrasse. If you can see that wrasse swimming around. I've got a Heraldi angel. The interesting thing about that angel fish is that it is a black-finned Heraldi angel. They're extremely rare. They don't cost a hell of a lot because they're not extremely striking in color like a flame angel fish, but they're extremely rare as they've got that black fin, and they're not just like a normal Heraldi angel. I have my 2 clownfish, my photon clownfish, and then my bicolor blenny at the back. And those are the fish, and then I have a small coral, actually a large coral banded shrimp at the back there, if you can see. Now I'll get into some of the close-ups. So this is that elegance coral. Awesome. At night those tips light up pink and under the blue light. I have my anemone. You can see its nice pink tips. I've got my zoanthids. I've got one cluster that fell off. I'll put those back, and then 1, 2, 3 others in that area. I've got my brain coral and the little baby with next to my Strombus snail, which is very nice. And then I have my torch coral. You can see that flow. I just love that bushiness. And then I've got the green star polyps, which I told you, which I love them. These are just a really cool, like almost grass in an aquarium. And then my green tip torch coral. And I'll just give you a close-up of some of the fish if they can come. My clownfish do host the anemone. You can see my bicolor blenny in the back. And my Melanaris wrasse and angelfish. So that's the general update on not only the tank, but the things all together. And I'll just show you the sump and show you how and what that looks like. I have obviously just the filter sock and stuff like that, and I've started a Refugium. For you guys that don't know what a Refugium is, it just takes out waste from the tank that you can't physically take out without doing like a water change or something like that, which is annoying, but It has to be done, and I've just got it under fluorescent lights with my protein skimmer in there, and seems to be doing extremely well. So thanks guys, this is all I really wanted to give you a quick update on. Show you the dragons again, and they're all doing great. So this is the update on my aquarium and fish room.